childish ways, saving the tension, unleashing the wiry limbs, searching for some memory. Remember the single fool's anatomy a teacher follows, handles so carefully with those lost shallows, sitting watching those fragments from the outside, from the eye, without your punishment. I'm wishing and hunting for you. Loving his shot, he cut the truth. His misinformation, so much like abuse. Loving his shot, he cut the truth. His misinformation, so much like abuse. Painting an ornament for ornament's sake, losing a twice fortunate face. Again a bafflement, again it burns. Lost, lost forever, forever lost. So that was me, Jando Band, doing Feral Nihilist, which will be, I think, the second track, if you like. Depends on how you look at things. It'll definitely be the second track you will hear from Jando Band at the Hope and Anchor on the 18th. And because we're going to be at the Hope and Anchor on the 18th, we're doing an interview with Non-Bio, who is playing with us on the 18th at the Hope and Anchor. I don't know if you figured that out. We'll be having a chat to Howard from Non-Bio and Pillars of Golden Misery and Decommissioned Forests and many other things in around 10-15 minutes or so. So yeah, let's see if I can get that poster up. There we go. It's this should do the job, because obviously we need that poster up. You'll have probably all seen it 1,000 times anyway. Yes, I know that poster there, which, you know, during the nightshift.uk we really like to see a few more ticket sales. That would be very nice indeed. But anyway, let's have, I think, Dice People next, as they're playing as well, and I think they're kind of sort of band that goes pretty well with Non-Bio. It's got that kind of slightly more sort of industrialiness to it. So anyway, yes, Dice People are indeed at the Hope and Anchor on the 18th, so let's have a bit of them, shall we? Yeah, right, Dice People. This is live at the Underbelly Hoxton, edited highlights of it, so it gives you a general feel of the show. There's that guy. And now I'm back on screen with lots of clutter, crank, or whatever. Yes, that was Dice. I didn't know I was in that video. I just thought I'd a quick look to see what video was about, but didn't see the bits with me in it, so that was quite intriguing to see myself again on the screen. I just can't stay away, can I? Right, let's have a bit of non-bio now. But anyway, yes, let's have that again, that poster, because you're going to see that loads of tonight anyway, if you're indeed watching, because that's what it's all about, trying to get a bit of promo done for the show. You know, I like to try and interview the artists involved and, you know, make them feel valued, because they are, you know. Anyway, right, yeah, let's have a bit of non-bio. Let's just post on Facebook a second. It's exciting stuff to see behind the scenes, I know. I mean, it's not really seeing, is it? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, non-bio with Squirm, which I believe is very, very new indeed. So let's see what we've got here. It's been moaning at me that I've been playing too much old stuff, so here we are. Right, I'll assume that there's no more audio going off in the last 15, 20 seconds of Squirm. But anyway, here's Howard of Non-Bio and many, many other things fame. So how are you this evening?
Hello there. Sorry, I'll come off of mute there. How are
We're
you doing,
doing this.
Derek?
We're doing this expertly, obviously. You know,
Yep, yep.
the whole join
Consummate
if you want
professionals.
it, but be quiet, and then obviously he has to be noisy. Honestly, these industrially type artists are nothing but trouble, if you ask me. I'd definitely not book them for any of my gigs. Definitely not. Anyway, yes, I'm not so bad. Anyway, it's good to be doing the Neo Futurist TV thing. I hope you're all good this evening. Anyway, there may be people who may perhaps watch. I couldn't imagine many, but you never know. There might be some people watching who don't actually know non-bio. So, can you tell us, the sort of initial sort of ethos, the idea of non-bio, perhaps?
Non-bio's been through a bit of an evolution. I've been doing it for about 10 years now. Well, I guess it must be a bit more than 10 years, actually. Time's flying away from me. I've been doing it as a live act for about 10 years anyway. It's in its current iteration, it's kind of like a rhythmic noise, industrial power noise type project with vocals. Because I'm involved in making visual effects and CGI, then it's also kind of an audio-visual band, I suppose. I've always liked to play with a screen if possible. I put a lot of visual elements in the performances. It sometimes gets a bit political. It sometimes gets a bit weird. I guess in terms of where I'm coming from, I kind of align myself with the Dadaists of a century ago.
Yeah, obviously in the last sort of few episodes or so, you slightly. I wouldn't necessarily say moan, but you did mention that some of the older videos happen to have been played really more than the current ones. So obviously you had started more in the, perhaps you could say, sort of more esoteric, sort of ambienty kind of field.
Yeah,
Um,
that's right. Yeah.
and sort
Um,
of since then you've moved into the more directly noisy industrial kind of thing.
well, that's right. Yeah, I mean, as part of the evolution of my band, I kind of started off just trying to do everything that I found interesting aesthetically, and after a while, I started to find that made the band a bit difficult to market because
I know
I was
that
trying to do
feeling.
everything at once, and eventually the project bifurcated. All the sort of noisy, stompy, shouty industrial stuff became non-bio, and everything else, all the sort of dark ambient and cinematic and just plain weird, noisy stuff, went off on its own path and became Pillars of Gold and Misery, which is my other solo project.
And I don't really want to cover it much, but does decommissioned forest fit into it somewhere, into the whole sort of uh, area of your things, or is that just a band you were in effect asked to join kind of thing, or do you sort of consider it kind of part of the pantheon of things you're involved in, like
Yeah,
directly?
I'd like to say that's part of the pantheon as well. I mean, not Decommissioned Forests is a three-piece band, which I'm one of the members of, along with Max from History of Guns and
Who we had
Dan
on
from
not
the
long
Resonance
ago.
Association. And yeah, I greatly enjoy being a part of that as well. We've got a show coming up in Leeds, I believe, and also Whitby later
Yeah.
this year. And yeah, that's been a fantastic experience too. Although obviously I'm one third of it, and I guess I'm making a lot of noise in a similar manner to Pillars of Gold and Misery, but I'm adding that as a texture to songs which other people have composed and other people are performing vocals over. So it's a bit different in mechanics of how it works, but at the same time, it's kind of a very linear progression as well from what I'm already doing.
And have you ever added vocals to your, like, personally added vocals, that is, to your own compositions at all, like live maybe, or anything like that? Or has it always strictly been instrumental?
For Pillars of Gold and Misery, it's always been strictly instrumental. I'm not saying that that would always necessarily be the case. I have thought about bringing in guest vocalists, and that might still happen at some stage. For non-bio, I wouldn't describe it as singing necessarily. I wouldn't
Well,
say that I've got the best
vocals,
singing voice ever, but I certainly do shout a lot during it. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I
I
mean,
think if I remember rightly, hasn't Megacube got some vocaling going off in it, or am
it
I?
does. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I do like slavering on quite intense vocal distortion. So, I think what quite often happens is my voice becomes more of a texture than somewhere something in which you can actually discern vocals or lyrics. So, yeah, I'll put that through all kinds of manipulations in a live environment or when I'm recording. So it just kind of gets swallowed up by a lot of the general noise, I suppose. But it is there. I do these days perform generally with radio mic on, and
Mhm.
yeah, there will be vocals in there, but how much there'll be sort of how much people will be analysing in depth all the lyrics from the audience, I don't know.
I
We'll have to
don't
wait and see
think
on that one.
I don't think much of that happens no matter what. Anyway, I mean, and the thing is, half the time I'll often like forget lyrics to a song and just repeat the same verse over and over. And no one knows.
It
No one
happens.
knows. It's fine. So I wonder is. Are the tracks set in stone, or do you actually sort of vary things a bit? Is there room for improvisation live with?
Yeah, I mean, performing it solo, obviously, I don't have the luxury of, say, for instance, a drummer who can vary
No,
the length
no.
of songs or that kind of thing. Most of the sound that you hear will come from a sampler and a few small, easy to transport modules, which I lay out on a table in front of me. I mean, with performing off my Akai sampler, which is quite a dated old model, I can vary the length of the songs because I can change the number of times that certain loops get played. So I can, yeah, I guess various live recordings will vary in length depending on how I'm feeling on the day.
Yeah.
But they'll all have a certain sort of amount of, yeah, consistency between the content.
Yeah, and it's most of my stuff is sort of very set in stone in length. There's
Mm.
only like a few tracks I can do which can vary, so it definitely makes that change. I think. I mean, it's good to have something like you which can be. I mean, I suppose both in a way have got a certain unpredictability because I've got tracks where vocals are different each
Mm.
time. But so what's the way you think that things are progressing with non-bio? How sort of is there a latest album that say Squirm is coming from?
Absolutely, yes. Glad you asked me about that. Yeah, the new album has been recorded and it will be coming out hopefully within the next month. It's been a very busy year for me. I hate to use my regular mundane life as an excuse for being tardy with my music projects because everybody has an everyday life and that's just a crap excuse, really. You don't want to hear that, but I have had an awful lot of stuff to deal with and it's coming when it's coming, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, there was a whole new album waiting to be unleashed on the world. I completed work on the album artwork yesterday, in fact, which I'm very excited about, and I'll be sharing that on my social media pretty soon. But yeah, that Squirm video, which you kindly played, that was also completed yesterday, in fact, or it was uploaded to YouTube yesterday.
Yes, yes. A day
That took
old.
me a good few weeks to make. That was kind of a back burner project because I do a lot of video work for other people, and that was just kind of sitting there while I was doing paid work, and I was just itching to get the bloody thing completed and
Yeah.
released. So that was a huge relief for me to finally get that online, and I'm very grateful that people are now seeing it. So that's hopefully giving you a taster of what the new album is going to be like.
Yeah, I mean, it's such great visual work in that. I mean, could you say there's anything in particular that inspires that sort of visual aesthetic? And is there
I'm a
anything
very big
that
fan of
sort
80s
of
horror.
is there
I
anything
mean,
that attracts you to this
like
sort of
yourself, I do
slightly more
love Clive
disturbing
Barker's work.
side?
You know, I guess films like Nightbreed, Hellraiser, that kind of thing. It's always somewhere in my mind when I'm designing the characters for it. I just really enjoy that kind of thing. I like creating all sort of creepy locations and low lighting that brings it all to life. It's just something that really makes me happy, I suppose.
Yeah, that sort of slightly decayed, sort of dilapidated aesthetic is always something quite pleasing. Um, with the new album, how would you say, perhaps, or is there anything that really takes it away from previous albums or anything, or what has sort of gone into and made the new album, you feel?
Yeah, it is a bit of a departure lyrically. Some of the previous ones, I was just getting really fed up with the whole state of the world, really. A lot of my last few albums, the lyrics were quite political in nature, even if it's pretty much impossible to discern what some of the lyrics are from listening. Maybe you've got to
Well, as
go on
long as you
Bandcamp and look
know.
them up. But I think not that I'm ecstatic about the change of government that we've got, but I'm giving Keir Starmer a chance at least. So we'll have to see how that one goes. But be that as it may, I think the new album is less political and more about me, really. It's just kind of a bloodletting of things that have been annoying me about myself, and
Right.
just kind of exercising my own demons, I think, in this latest installment. So we'll have to see how people respond to that.
I'm doing this sort of thing. I've often sort of found is a good release of whatever is pent up inside. Do you find that does tend to come out live? I know for me that getting out some of that sort of angst that's inside really in a live situation really does help. Do you find that at all?
Yeah, it's very cathartic. I mean, I'm not saying everything's perfect now. Certainly, the last
No,
week's been a
no.
bit hair-raising,
Yeah, just
but
a little.
generally in the world, I've got some sense of hope. But yeah, I think a lot of things do kind of grind you down like that. It's very depressing to watch the news sometimes. I end up doom scrolling, and I think an experience like a live show can be very cathartic and very therapeutic, I suppose, in some ways.
Is there anything in particular? I mean, obviously the sort of cathartic nature of doing a live performance is something, but are there other aspects of making it live, for example, that and being a little bit different and maybe, I don't know, less controlled than the studio is? Does that sort of have a certain resonance at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think it shakes me out of my comfort zone. I've done gigs that have gone wrong, and that's something I would absolutely never want to repeat again. So I think it pushes me um, into a place where I wouldn't be if I'm just recording tracks at home. I could quite happily sit in my bedroom and just record all the time, but I think to put on a show in front of an audience does really sort of push me in new directions, and I'm always looking for ways to improve from the last show, analyze what went right and not so right about it, try and be better next time, and I think that's a very healthy thing for any musician.
Um, any particular sort of memorable moments, perhaps in a positive way? I mean, there can be memorable moments that we'd rather forget, but sort of in doing live performances and that sort of thing, have there been any moments that have particularly stuck in the memory?
When I was with a previous band, I won't name it here, but I know we did a show up north once, and I think maybe the promoter had rather naively put us on with a load of sort of straight up metal bands, and the crowd that we had weren't really very receptive to a kind of very experimental noise that we were putting on, and yeah, we got heckled quite badly. I mean, it's quite funny now looking back on it, but I mean, it was quite terrifying at the time. But
Yeah.
again, I suppose it just kind of knocks the corners off you a bit, makes you a more rounded person. So I think
Has there
it's all
been
right to have that as a learning experience.
any sort of really moments that were really good or something that you sort of cherish, if you like?
I think any gig where I come off the stage and it's had a very positive reaction, and I think, oh, that didn't go wrong, and all that rehearsal paid off, and people have spoken to me afterwards and said that they enjoyed various aspects of it. I love that. I really love that. So I think that makes it entirely worthwhile.
I remember going to one of your events at Black Heart in Camden
That's right,
some
yes.
years ago. That was a very very nice evening indeed. That one. Yeah. So anything else you feel you might like to add? Is any things I've maybe missed in my intense hyper interrogation?
Well, yeah, I'd say a few words maybe about some of the other collaborations I've been doing this year. It's been a very busy year in that kind of sense. I've been working a lot with Max from History of Guns, who got a brief shout out earlier. Um, I know you interviewed Max not that
Yeah,
long
yeah.
ago,
It's
and
two
History of
episodes
Guns
ago, I
have
think.
recently put out their new album, Half Light. I've been
Which
very
is very
involved in the
good.
promotional side of that, making videos for them, and we've got a video which I made from scratch due for release sometime, I think, later this month. One of the longest tracks, I think, on the album, Drug Castle. It's largely spoken word by Dell. It's very moody, very dark, and I've basically made a sort of David Lynch style experimental art horror film to promote that, which I can't wait to share with people.
That sounds thoroughly excellent, and I can't wait. I'm always very, very impressed with your creativity in that visual sense. And I know
Thank you.
it's not easy doing that sort of thing. It's quite the time consuming. Not that I know anything about doing it. I just know I just sort of know I've not really got the faintest sort of clue how to get started with that. All I know about is sort of painting my face like an idiot and prancing about. So, yeah. And any other artists you'd like to maybe give a shout out to? Anyone you've seen live that's sort of particularly impressed you, or anything that you'd like to maybe mention?
I've been a bit rubbish about getting to gigs myself actually this year. Yeah, it's been a bit of a difficult one with work and what have you. I'm looking forward to seeing Front 242 in London when they do their final tour in December. That's going to be very exciting for
Well, I
me.
might have to
I've only ever
catch
seen them
that.
once before live, and yeah, that's going to be a big one for me.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I've not done any festivals this year. I've just been utterly crap, really, at getting out there
Right,
and
you suck.
supporting the
So
live
you're
scene.
totally cancelled from the gig then. Sorry, bye. No.
No, no, I mean,
Um,
well, we've got my fellow musicians who are playing the Hope and Anchor, obviously, which
yes,
I'm very much looking forward to seeing live. I've never met any of them apart from yourself, and
yes, yes.
yeah, I mean, see Jan Doyle Band, Dice People, and Lilac Underworld. I mean,
I
that's going to be
think
amazing. I've been
Dice
looking at
People
their work
really.
online, and
I think Dice
yeah,
People
would very
really
much
fit
like
with
to see
you.
them in a live environment.
Yeah, they're going to be very good indeed, I think. So, what's your favourite Font 242 album before we go?
Oh, it's a good question. Probably the what I can't. What's the name of the album with "Tragedy for You" on it? I've forgotten now.
That's Tyranny for You.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I love that one. I haven't actually listened to their stuff in a while. I think I need to dig them all out and refamiliarize myself before December. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be amazing. I'm
Yeah.
so looking forward to that.
My entry point with them was Upheaval and Off.
Hmm.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about my experiences with Front 242, even though they've been very good. I've never seen them live, because I
Oh,
don't know,
right.
the live show doesn't look that interesting to me. But I'll probably pop along to their final show in London. But why go see a band that's sort of way past the prime? Why continue doing gigs when you're way past your prime myself? Right, anyway. Yeah, anyway, thanks a lot for joining me for a chat about things. I hope it's been reasonably tolerable for you. So,
No, no, it's been great. Thank you for having
and
me on.
we wish you obviously the absolute best of success with the new album. Looking forward to what unpredictability we are hopefully going to have at the Hope and Anchor. And I think it's going to flow so well into Dice People. It's wonderful. Might be a little jarring after Lilac Underworld. I don't know. We'll see. It's nice to have a bit of variety anyway. Right. Anyway, I shall get on and play that lovely, jolly sounding or track. In a lake of spinal fluid. Honestly, these people who make this alternative music, making these tracks with these dark sounding names, disgraceful behaviour, I say. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining me, and I'll get on with playing In a Lake of Spinal Fluid. I will see you on the 18th of August.
Absolutely, looking forward to that.
Oh, it stopped. I didn't expect it to stop so suddenly like that. Right, I'll put me back on screen. And I think entirely due to us doing this interview, we've now sold 3 more tickets for the gig. I think it is, yes, 3 more tickets for Night Shift Hope and Anchor on the 18th of August. That's excellent to see. We need more of that sort of thing going off. Because we want even more people there. We may be packed out already, but we want more and more people. It's always good playing to people. Anyway, that was rather spiffy, wasn't it? I like to think so. Yes, and let's actually look at the camera a bit instead of sort of looking down at things and what have you. It's a problem with my camera being sort of up there, though my camera is actually just my phone. But anyway, yeah, shall we have that thing up there? Yeah, look, there it is. We're going to have that non-bio thing there. We're going to have Lilac Underworld as well. So I think we really need to get Lilac Underworld on now because she's really talented. I mean, I feel sort of almost... it's so hard sort of deciding sometimes who to put on first. She's such a great artist. She deserves later, really. But what I say about it is it's a matter of the flow of the tones of the artists. I think she creates a wonderful atmosphere to get us into the mood sort of thing for this. And then we go into the kind of industrial section with non-bio and dice people. And then after that, we get back to whatever it is that I do. Anyway, Lilac Underworld. Philosophy of something or other. Philosophy of Our Minds, live in the studio kind of thing. Let's have a bit of that. Yeah, right, let's get on with doing that, shall we? Where's it gone? Right, here we are. Philosophy of Our Minds, Lilac Underworld. So, yeah, live in her sort of studio thing.
Taking fools and prizes every day, making mountains of my fears. Oh, I know it's not right, it's not right. I ignore the pain and push right through, climbing up foot tower to succeed. I want to be rich, I want to be adored. Philosophy of our minds, making wars with every phrase. What's a philosophy of our minds? Why do we hurt for material gain? Magazines and TV, making us feel we are not worthy. Oh, what's the price of beauty now? Obsessed with secrets and lies, manipulation makes us feel better when we are so insecure. What's a philosophy of our minds? Why do we hide from material again? Yeah. Da, 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 da,
Right, that was Lilac Underworld, the philosophy of our minds. She's such an incredible artist. I greatly admire her incredible skill in everything she does. As you see, I get that poster up again. Look, there it is, Lilac Underworld, down there in the bottom left, sort of the right of the bottom left of the right, something like that. Anyway. Yeah. So I'll be doing the as we open up the kind of Demon Church set, which will kick off with the instrumental track, Demon Church opening titles kind of thing, which probably just be Zoe on stage. Then I will join her for Feral Nihilist, which we opened the show with. We'll go through all the Demon Church tracks and one more. We will have Ghosting in there as well, which doesn't have any kind of video yet. Hopefully we'll record it or something. We might send that to Goth City. It's Goth City. I was thinking it'd stop Goth City totally, but no, Joel is still doing Goth City, but not Goth City Festival. Black Pilgrimage instead, which you can find. Oh, that's the point. Let's have that, shall we? You can later on in the year, Black Pilgrimage in Leeds, which features decommissioned forests. Let's see if we can get that poster up. It's around here somewhere. Let's present a bit of Howard there. Right, here we are. Not my event, obviously. It's that there, Joel, known for Goth City, but now he does Black Pilgrimage. See, down there, we've got Decommissioned Forest down there, just above the DJ list. So that's something to look out for. I can't remember what day they're on, but you want to go to that whole festival, don't you? Boom, incidentally, is the place I fell down and smashed my nose to pieces. Exciting piece of history for it. So yeah, just a quick thought about my own performance. I'm doing Stevenage the day before. I wonder if I can find that poster I made. But yeah, Stevenage day before at the Peculiar Market event. Let's see. I can't seem to find the file. Is that the one? No, that's not it. I can't remember what I've done with that. Anyway, I'll find it later. Maybe I can add it in post if I want. Hey, look at that poster over there. Which? Yeah, there. I can't figure out which way I've got to point my hand these days. Yeah, so have a look at that Stevenage event that I've definitely just posted there. So I'll be doing totally different. I'll be like, the thing is, this is something about my musical project. I don't know how it works, how it computes for other people. Much as what Howard said, I like to sort of feel I'm sort of tempted and attracted to doing lots of different things, and I incorporate all that into being John Law Band. And at Stevenage, I'm going to be doing the Body Balance set, which is generally, I think, a bit more, perhaps in a way, a lighter set. It's maybe a little easier to get to grips with. I'm not sure. Maybe. I think it's a bit more pop, if you like. And I'm going to be in the futurist mode where I have the red and yellow hair, the hair extensions, and PVC trousers and stuff. But then the next day at the Hope and Anchor, I'm doing the Golden Age Demon Church set, which is much more sort of somber, subtle, serious thing, and I just wonder how that might work for other people. As you can see, I'm in that sort of golden mode there. You know, there's a whole. I guess you could say it's sort of a bit more goth in many ways, but presented in a very different way. That's another thing about. I'm just this sort of ridiculous thing where I kind of like being goth and involved in goth and that sort of thing, but I hate being typical. I hate that goth often seems to become a uniform. I'm being far too sort of about things, but I don't know, it's just like, oh, you wear these shoes and you wear these clothes you from this shop, and can't you find another way to express yourself but still you can be goth? Goth is what I make it, okay? I don't know, I'm ranting and raving here to no good effect, and it's probably all wrong. I shouldn't be doing it. I don't know. But anyway, did you know it's International Cat Day? It very much is. So I thought what we could do is play Susie performing the track Catwalk, which was a B-side to Peekaboo, if I remember rightly. It was just an instrumental track with her doing lots of cat noises, and this is her doing it live in the Peep Show tour in 1988-89 time. So let's see what this is like. This is a live performance, so recorded from the audience, so the audio is not likely to be great, but it's just going to be kind of interesting. It seems a nice way to sort of celebrate International Cat Day, so here you are. Probably would have been the opening track from the night. So that was Susie doing Catwalk live. Maybe I should do some other video for Cat Day as well. Let's have Fantastic Cat by Takako Minakawa. Let's have that. Yeah, I think that's what we want. Let's come on, we'll get it up in a second. I can edit this in post at least. Here we are. I'll have this on, I think. This is a lovely fun track, and it's a nice way to end on International Cat Day. A bit of lovely Japanese stuff. It's not. Let's try that again. We'll have it. Thankfully, I can get rid of all the nonsense in post. Right, so this is Takako Minakawa, Fantastic Cat. Love this.
Here I go.
Well, that transition long fade didn't work quite as well as I planned. Fortunately, I can fix that in post. Bye.